Sorry, wait a minute. Is this thing on? I'm not sure I could hear you guys. How many fans of freestyle do we have in the house today? These guys are about to fly pretty darn high right here off of an 8-foot kicker ramp and across a 70-foot gap and 30 feet straight up in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, they are brought to you by Kawasaki Canada. Allow me now to introduce to you the two guys who will help me tell you this story. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let me look at this young guy right down here as he gets set to come across that ramp and fly 30 feet straight up in the air. Oh, that's a long distance, and he went even longer than he needed to be down that 16-foot custom-built landing ramp. You might have seen him on a Monster Energy Presents this guy because he is the future of freestyle. The 24-year-old star from Kamloops, British Columbia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Chris Foster. You know, Chris, we go back in the day, man. I think back when you were a motocross racer. We were talking about it here. You were out at the races again last night watching that sport of motocross, which is where it all began for you. But let me ask you the difference here from racing on the ground on a big old Kawasaki to flying through the air. What was the reason that you made the difference in the change?
I raced for about 6 years strong, and then I lost a little bit of interest in it, so I decided to focus on something new and started hitting ramps, and it caught on and took off.
You know, if you get a chance to see that video, you'll see what I mean. Monster Energy presents Chris Foster. There's a couple other sponsors we should probably thank, right? Monster being one. Who else do we have to thank for having Chris Foster, the future of freestyle in Canada, here with us today?
Fox is hooking me up with some gear and shift, and then we got Leading Edge Motorsports and Spy goggles.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me give it up here for Mr. Chris Foster. And then there's this guy. Gosh, where do we begin with him? 15 years old, and he turned pro in the world of freestyle, and that was a long time ago. He became the very first Canadian to represent us all around the world as a pro freestyle motocrosser. And ladies and gentlemen, it all happened for him in the year 2001. That was the year that he ended up becoming the very first champion of Canada in freestyle motocross. I'll let you in on a little secret right here. He had not thrown his leg over that brand new 250 until yesterday afternoon. Comes to us originally from Mackenzie, British Columbia, loves to hunt and fish and collect guitars, but ladies and gentlemen, it has been my privilege to know this young guy since the very beginning, and today I can call him this. He is the original champion of freestyle motocross in Canada from Kelowna, British Columbia. Please welcome Mr. Chris Garwaziak. Guys, I go back all those years. 15 years old, out there on a 125, flying through the sky. You've traveled the world, the first freestyler to represent Canada and China and so on. There's so many firsts for this guy, and yet I look at him here and I think here of this body that has taken its beating over the years, the busted up knees, the broken feet, the broken back, the back with the bone spurs here, the press that caused those legs to go numb. I keep asking myself, why, Chris? Why don't you stand here with me and watch it? Why do you continue to ride like you do?
You know what, just like you guys out there, I got a dream, and my dream is to travel the world on my dirt bike and be out here performing for you guys. And you know what, we put this together last minute, and we're so stoked to be out here. Big thank you to Kawasaki Canada for bringing us out. We're ready to throw down and put on quite a show for you guys. We got some awesome conditions here. It's January, and we're riding our dirt bikes, so we're just pumped to be here. So thank you guys so much for coming out.
The original champion of Canada, Chris Garwaziak. You know something? We're going to tell you the story of how it all began. The story of freestyle motocross in a short period of time as we show you the tricks that led to, well, what you're about to see here by the end of this show. It began in the dunes of Southern California in the late 1970s when motocross riders were inspired. Inspired by guys, well, inspired by kids riding BMX bikes. That's right, they saw some of those tricks and decided they could incorporate them into what they did here on motorcycles. Well, at first they did it as a ground and pound there in the swimming pools and the skate parks, but eventually decided to put tricks together just like this. Up there into a classic knack-knack as he brought that foot across the backside. The knack-knack, one of the early tricks in freestyle motocross. Chris Foster pulling it out just lovely right there. Garwaziak up there in a super can. He brought both feet across in a can-can, and then both feet across in that super can-can, and a beautiful execution, bringing those legs tight together across the gas tank. Looking at the bottom of those feet. Up there into a no-hander with a little razzle-dazzle as he kind of foreshadows a trick that comes later called the lazy boy when he reaches back into that no-hander with his hands up over his head. Garwaziak now out there into a Cordova and a sustain. Oh man, that bad back of his, hooking his feet under and holding that arch for a little bit longer in the sky right there. Foster, backside, oh, beautifully done there into a trick that was created quite a number of years ago called the heart attack in a Superman seat grab position, but hitting that handstand and getting his feet up over his head. Now into a bar hop as Garwaziak hanging those boots up into the front side, a Shaolin by spreading those feet out wide, a Shaolin bar hop, early trick on the front side of the bike. There's a super can with an Indian air twist. He brought those feet across, then got that scissor position into that Indy air, which means he has to untwist those legs to get them back down on the pegs. Garwaziak, both sides there in a pendulum. He kicks them out on both sides, a little do-si-do across the top there. And you can see how the tricks began to escalate as they got more and more comfortable 30 feet in the air. There's a combination of a super can and a heel clicker to the side to the top. He put two tricks in one right there from Chris Foster. Garwaziak coming back up high here now. Backside, Superman seat grab, but in that heart attack position. And these guys are showing you these early tricks in freestyle motocross. Let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, are you enjoying what you're seeing? I'm not sure they get the idea that I'm talking about here because, you see, there is nothing on the line for these guys, right? There's no titles. There's no prizes. The only thing that these guys are riding for is for your applause, so let me hear it here! You know, Chris, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little chapter that took us to about 10 years ago in freestyle motocross. There was a trick at that time that was considered to be the Holy Grail. They said this trick could never be done on a motorcycle. You know what trick I'm talking about? Say it louder, man. I can't hear y'all. Oh, say it really loud here. The backflip, exactly. Taking a motorcycle and turning it upside down. And I'd like to invite this young guy to do just that for us. Would you indeed honor us with the classic backflip to tell us that tale here right now? Ladies and gentlemen, it's an astounding trick to see. Back in the day, they were doing it on super kickers, going straight up in the air across a gap of about 40 feet. Today, this trick will look like it's in slow motion as he comes off of that standard ramp across a 70-foot gap. Chris Foster to hit the backflip. Let me hear it here, Vancouver! But we're not done yet. We got some other stories to tell you, and I'll tell you this. The louder that you get, the wilder that they'll get. Do you want to see it? They're going to take it up to the bigger tricks right now in freestyle motocross as Foster comes to the ramp. Up high, double grab to the backside, a handstand, holding on to the cutouts in the back of the motorcycle. Foster on the double grab. Garwaziak, cliffhanger! Oh my! Up there into a full cliffhanger, holding on with the toes of his boots. You can see the bend in that back. Foster now, there's that lazy boy, bringing his body all the way back, his legs out to the front. The only thing holding him on there is the seat of his pants. Garwaziak up high into the stripper, hooking that foot out to the front, arching that bad back of his and getting that leg straight up there in that variation halfway between a bar hop and a Cordova. Oh, Foster into the executioner! One-handed grab as he hooked those feet. Give that guy some applause right there. Garwaziak backside in the air as he hits that Superman with a look over to you guys. Remember, the original champion riding here for your applause. Give it to him here as he comes by. Foster, oh my goodness, hooking those feet up into there, hesitating as he put those feet out into that dead body right there. Boy, that was a tough trick to be able to pull out, putting the hesitation in there. Kiss of death from Chris Garwazia up high as he does a handstand on the top of the motorcycle. Foster coming back at it here. Double grab in the air as he reaches to the backside and twists it out there. Foster working all parts of the motorcycle, showing you a well-rounded freestyler right here. This kid will win big down the road. Garwaziak up there, puts it together into that twist now as he works that bad back here. Foster coming back at it again. Are you guys enjoying what you're seeing or what? Foster one-handed flip. He just stuck his hand off of the motorcycle. Give it up for this kid. A one-handed variable right there on the back flip. Garwaziak just sailing through the sky there, looking down below as he didn't find what he was looking for there. Here comes Foster one more time. Foster out there into the dead body. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think here of freestyle motocross, huh? But you know, we got one more chapter to tell you. One more chapter to tell you in freestyle motocross, because you see, each and every time you see this sport advance, it always has to raise the bar higher. You've seen some variations of the backflip. You've seen double grabs on the backside. You've seen this guy hit that huge tsunami-style kiss of death. But it's always one thing to see one man on the ramp at the same time. But ladies and gentlemen, to wrap this thing up, before these guys head over to Kawasaki, Canada for an autograph session, we would like to double it up. That's right, put two men on the ramp at the same time. It's called the Freestyle Train. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? Well, these guys are about to tighten it up here. If you got a camera, now is the time getting this picture as the two of them together on this ramp. I have not asked them to practice this. They've not had a practice ride today. We'll see what they put together. Who will go first? Who will go last as the two of them get set to come on the ramp in a freestyle train. Two men, one mistake, and it's all over. The Global FMX team lining it up here, looking backwards here. Looks like Garwaziak will lead it. Foster right there on him here as they come down to the ramp. The two of them together. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me hear it here for Chris Foster, the future of freestyle and the original champion of Canada, Chris Garwaziak. This is Global FMX. Ladies and gentlemen, they are brought to you by Kawasaki Canada. We hope that you will join them at the Kawasaki tent for an autograph session right now. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all the sponsors here, the manufacturers,